You absolutely did. With that, all that gloating and all the tweeting yesterday about Dak Prescott has arrived. I'm placing all of this at the feet of Kirk Cousins. Because you know what, Skip? Last year in his last 10 games, Kirk Cousins, 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 2 games this year, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. When I was in Denver and we were playing a rookie quarterback or an unproven quarterback, Mike would always tell the offense, it's on us. What he meant by that is it's up to us to go out, get the lead early, and make them a one-dimensional football team, meaning to throw the football. As long as they allow Dak Prescott to hand the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott, now he's going to put it on the ground a few times. We're going to discuss that later. As long as they can run the football with Elliott and what's the guy they got from Washington?
Alfred Morris.
Alfred Morris. You have a conundrum. So what do? Because they don't really stop the run. They don't really rush the passer. So you need to be able to take something away, Skip. Skip, he had 2 overthrows that were touchdowns in the first half. He underthrew Dotson. That would have been a touchdown. He caught the ball, but ended up getting caught, and guess what he did? Politely come in, throw an interception in the red zone. If he's going to be the guy, and he's, Mike Shanahan, my former coach, he drafted Kirk Cousins. We go round and round about this. Mike believes he's a franchise quarterback. I told Mike there's a difference between being a franchise quarterback and being a quarterback of a franchise. Kirk Cousins is a quarterback of a franchise. I do not. Now, I could be proven wrong some, 5, 6 years down the road, but I don't believe I will. I've seen enough. I know what he is. He's a good quarterback. You'll win a few games. But if you think you're winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback, that's not happening. I've seen enough. You can't keep making the.
So wait, are you ready to bench him now?
No, I'm not saying. I know what his backup is. I know what Colt McCoy is. I'm just saying, Skip, the guy wants Andrew Luck type money. That's what he's going to want. And I just don't see how you give him that money. There's a reason. Washington saw this because they could have easily. The guy had in the last 10 games, 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They could have easily said, you know what? He's our guy. We've seen enough. Let's give him the $100 million with $60, $70, $80 million guaranteed. They didn't do that. So clearly, from watching him practice, watching him in games, they know a little bit more than maybe what we do. But I've seen enough from Kirk Cousins. Skip, this is on him. The overthrows, we've seen this early, and I thought it was jitters. Maybe he's putting a little more pressure on himself than what needs to be. But with him playing like this, they're not winning this division.
Who won the division last year?
They did.
They did because of Kirk Cousins. He had a great year last year. By his standards, he had a great year.
He had a great year for any quarterback.
Yeah.
He had 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards. That's a great season.
Right. He actually had moments yesterday, and I hate rooting against Kirk Cousins because he scares me
No,
to
you
death.
not when he's playing the Cowboys. You don't hate rooting against him.
He threw for 364 yards yesterday, and a bunch of times he didn't overthrow receivers. He hit them on the money when it counted. He is hard to deal with, and he might become. He's becoming the biggest tease in the National Football League because he will put up some serious numbers with some serious throws. And when he overthrew Deshaun Jackson yesterday, when I thought nobody could do that, who's living right now, right?
Right.
He airmailed Deshaun Jackson on a deep ball. He's got a big, hot, live arm. But again,
so what happened to the underthrown Dotson?
Okay, I tweeted early in the game, all I need from Kirk Cousins is that one big mistake. Overthrows, underthrows, those happen. What can't happen is I went to church in the end zone. I had my man Barry church in the end zone.
I
went to church, man. I went to church because he went to church, and he threw it right to Barry Church in the end zone. That was the play of the game. That is vintage Kirk Cousins. He will always do something in the game, and it might lose it if all of his 364 yards don't win it before that. They hadn't won it before that, and that was the turning point in the game. Kirk Cousins turned back into Kirk Cousins for only one big play. That's not luck. It's good defense. It's who he is. They got him when they had to get him, and then Dak took over. 80 yards, 11 plays, ball game.
Skip, but when you're dealing with a rookie quarterback, they have the best offensive line in football. What do you think the game plan is? They want to run the football. They want to control the clock because their defense, you make it seem like the Cowboys or the Ravens of 2000 or the Broncos. They're not.
No.
So you want to keep those guys off the field. So all Kirk, and see, when you look at Kirk at the end of the game, if you just look at the stats like you did, he threw for 364. And you look at the Monday night game, he threw for 328 or 342. But look what he did. Look at all the throws. He should have had 542. He should have had 530. The overthrow to Jackson, the overthrow to Crowder, the underthrow to Dotson. He was early on, he missed some throws that you have to make. And what you want to do is put the pressure on. I want to see Dak Prescott, and he has been impressive, Skip. I will give you that. He's starting to grow on me like bacteria.
Like bacteria? That's a great analogy.
It's a good thing.
You hear that, Dak?
He's starting to grow on me. But I want to see Dak Prescott have to win a game when he doesn't have the option of turning around and handing the ball off to Elliott or Morris.
I don't think he's really had that option the first two games.
Skip, they're running the football.
They are not. Yesterday, how many none-yard gains did Zeke have? It's like he's running in quicksand.
I want him to have to totally throw the football. The threat of the run is taken away. They're behind by 14, 17, 21 points. And that's what could have happened had Kirk Cousins, Kirk third cousin. Because at one point in time, he was like a first cousin. I really embraced him. And then he went to a second cousin. And now he's third cousin. And, you know, down south, we call third cousins, we call that dog kin. Because you closer kin to a dog than you are him. So he's a third cousin right now.
Yep.
And I'm upset with him. And I was liking that. I was liking that, Kurt. And now I don't like that, Kurt.